Hello everybody, my name is William and welcome back to another Roblox Bee Swarm Simulator video where today I would like to talk about boosting and how to boost and what you need to boost. So to start off, I'm gonna just tell you guys all the basic things you need for boosting. You are going to need at least 250 gumdrops, 80 coconuts, and if you have Starsaw, 62 stingers. You're gonna want 15 micro converters, 25 field dice, 20 jelly beans, and you are going to want glitter. You're gonna want a purple potion or a super smoothie. Make sure you also have 10 cloud vials, which is the maximum, and be sure to donate like a purple potion or a gold egg or any egg of any kind to the wind shrine so you can get some really high wind multipliers. Now, what do winds do? Winds grant you pollen buffs for a specific field. It's just a random field that the wind shrine grants you, and it will give you instant conversion, up to 90% instant conversion at maximum. But you're gonna need to donate like a gifted diamond egg, a mythic egg, or like a gifted mythic egg to get that 90%, but I don't advise you do that unless you're doing like a really crazy super boost with like the honey day event buff, which you can't get at the moment. So save your mythic and gifted mythic egg. And also, cannot forget this, but never boost alone. Always make sure you have 1 or 2 people to help you, even 5 at maximum, because well, that's the max you can fit in a server, 6 people. Why do you want friends to help you boost? Well, when they join the server, tell them not to claim their hive. It will cause server lag, so your bees will not drop as many stinking ability tokens if you have like 5 other people with their hives in the game. So make sure they do not have their hives claimed so that doesn't happen. So that way you do get as many ability tokens as you can. Now, if they don't claim their hives, what are they there for exactly? Well, they're there to drop you gumdrops, jelly beans, plant their sprinkler, and to give you cloud vials, because 10 is not going to last you an entire 15-minute boost if you're constantly getting 5 clouds in one field. However, if one of your friends have 8 plus fuzzy bees, they can help you boost by claiming their hive, because the fuzzy bee will increase pollination. So make sure that if you have a friend with 8 plus fuzzy bees, for them to claim their hive and come over to the field that you're boosting in, which I like to boost in the rose field because that's the field I get the most. And so they plant down their sprinkler and their fuzzy bees will pollinate the field so you get even more pollen. Now, if you are a blue hive, for blue hive people, you're going to want another person in the game with at least 12 tadpole bees so you get even more bubbles so you can get bigger pop stars. You only need 1 other person. You can have 2 extra people, but the server will lag just a teensy bit. So I'd say just have 1 other person with about 14 to 16 tadpoles, or well, 12 works, but 14 to 16 is much better. So yeah. And now let me explain why you want these specific set of buffs. Well, gumdrops, they drop goo on the field, which should grant you some extra honey. So as you can see, I place down the gumdrop and I can collect it, and I'm gaining a ton of honey from it. Coconuts instantly convert stuff in your backpack and they collect pollen. So like if I have a bunch of pollen in my bag, hold on, let's go ahead, collect just a bunch of pollen here. Pollen, ooh, an aphid, nice. But anyways, yeah, let's go ahead, collect a ton of pollen. If I could stop instantly converting, oh my goodness, I'm not going to collect those coconuts because I need to use one to like display the point of coconuts. All right, now that I have filled my bag just a little, let's go ahead and we can use a coconut. When I use it, a green circle will pop up on the field. If I stand under it, it instantly converts a bunch of honey into these honey tokens that I can collect. And as you can see, my bag went down a little. So let's use another and watch my bag. It's going to go down and boom, it went down, instantly converting a bunch of pollen into honey tokens. So be sure you have coconuts. Now, why do you want stingers if you have Starsaw? Because like for a red and a white hive, you need to be using stingers so you can activate Starsaw so you can convert a bunch of stuff, because your bag is way too small. For blue, you do not need Starsaw. Blue does not need Starsaw. You need Pop Gummy if you're going for a double passive, which is Pop Star and Gummy Star on one singular amulet. Starsaw instantly converts like a bunch of pollen from your bag. So if you have Starsaw as a red or white hive, be sure to have about 62 stingers, because that should last you throughout the entire boost. Micro converters are good for instantly converting all the pollen in your bag in case Starsaw is not converting as much as it should be, so you can get it unstuck. Because sometimes for red hives, if you don't have flame heat active, your Starsaw will not really be converting much, so you need to use a micro converter to empty out your bag, so that way your bees can go collect pollen and make some flames. So micro converters are useful for red and white hives, because white hives require 1 to 2 spicy bees for that extra flame heat, etc. You know what I mean. For blue hives, micro converters, oh, you need 15 because you do not have Starsaw. So you're gonna need 15 micro converters because your capacity is large enough to be able to last you about a good minute or 2 in the field. So that way you have 15 micro converters for 15 minutes of a boost. Now, why do you need field dice? This is so simple, but field dice, when you use a field dice, it will grant you a boost for any field, right? right, it will grant you a field boost. What a field boost does is it gives you 100% more pollen from that field that it is boosting, and it's any random field. So make sure to try and line up your field dice with your wins. You should get about 25, so that way you can get pretty much a guaranteed 3 times boost for any field you want. It's not guaranteed, but it's a higher chance than using like, what, 10? So yeah. Now, jelly beans. What do jelly beans do exactly? Well, jelly beans, the point of jelly beans is that they grant you some pollen multipliers for your tools, bomb pollen, bee pollen, just pollen colors overall, like red pollen, blue pollen, white pollen, etc. Overall pollen, like just pollen itself, but that's from the jelly bean called the periwinkle jelly bean, which is a rare jelly bean that is dropped from when you use, well, duh, a jelly bean. Jelly bean buffs can also grant you instant conversion, so jelly beans are very useful. Be sure to have about 20 so you can constantly be throwing them through the entire boost, so you have constant 3 times multipliers on all beans. Also, make sure your friends are throwing a bunch of beans, so that way you get even more jelly beans, and you get more of those like really rare jelly beans, like the maroon jelly bean, navy jelly bean, jeller bean, my bad, sorry, navy jelly bean, maroon jelly bean, periwinkle jelly bean, and of course the marigold jelly bean. Now, why do you need glitter to boost? Because you can just pick a random field. Like, watch this. So if I go over here, let's say I go over to Rose Field right here. Oh wait, no, there's a vicious bee. Give me a minute. Alrighty, now that we've taken care of that. Alright, so if I want to boost in the Rose Field, if I use a glitter, what happens is when I use this glitter, it gives me a guaranteed 100% pollen buff for this specific field. It just gives me the same thing as field dice do, just it's guaranteed for whichever field you're standing in. So glitter is very useful. So be sure you use glitter when you get like a 2 times boost, so you can save some field dice for your next boost. And also, it's just overall really helpful to have glitter. Always use glitter when you're boosting. Now, when I said if you use a purple potion, be sure to have oil, enzymes, and tropical drinks, well, the point is because purple potions do not give you the tropical drink buffs, the enzyme buffs, or the oil buffs, so you need to use these separately. However, if you're using a super smoothie, it gives you every single buff in the game. If you're going for a really good boost, use a super smoothie. If you're going for an average boost, use a purple potion. Also, purple potions make very good donations as they give you 6 to 8 times wins, sometimes 9 times, just rarely though, but yeah. Now, another thing for boosting is I highly advise you to go up here every hour when the Mondo chicken spawns. Go ahead, take down the Mondo chicken as quickly as possible so you get the highest Mondo chick blessing that you possibly can get. Mondo chick blessing gives you capacity, it gives you extra 10% pollen, which is the main point of it, and it gives you convert rate multipliers. So yeah, be sure you can take down the Mondo chicken as quickly as you possibly can. And now, after I kill this Mondo chicken, I'm gonna tell you how to boost, like what you should be doing while you're boosting, like so after I take down this Mondo chicken, I'm going to explain how you should move around in a boost, like what should you prioritize. Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and explain to you what should you prioritize when you're moving around in a boost, what should you chase after, and yeah, I'm just gonna, you know, really quickly just go ahead and enchant a bee here. Well, not enchant a bee, it's mutate a bee, but still, it works, you know. Okay, so to start off, I'm gonna talk about red hives since I am one, so this is the one that I know the most about. Also, I know a lot about blue because I was blue for a very long time. Alright, so as a red hive, this is the movement pattern that you should keep making. You should run in circles, small little circles like this, just like this, look, so that way you stay in your flames and you collect pollen, but try not to go like this, because if you stand right here, your Starsaw is going to fall off the field. Like, it's going to start spinning, and it's going to be off the field, and it's going to come back, and then it's not going to convert anything when it's not on the field. It only converts when it's touching the field. So make sure to stand somewhere, like, in the middle here, so your Starsaw is always collecting stuff. Also, running around in little circles, I get it. The tokens, they're like, oh, how am I going to get the tokens? Well, your Cub Buddy, Token Links, and your Tornado, and your Starsaw will all be collecting you tokens. So, yeah. So as a red hive, as I said, little circles like this, just little circles over and over. Sometimes move around. If you get like a festive mark, move over there. Okay, so let's talk about white hives now. So let's go to the best white hive field to farm in when you're boosting, which would be spider field. So when we're in the spider field here, what we're gonna do as a white hive is, hold on, let me just go ahead and get my bees over here to take out the spider. There we go. Nice. Extra tickets. Yay. Okay. Anywho, so how should you move around? As a white hive, what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna get a ton of speed, right? As a white hive, you're gonna be incredibly fast. You're gonna be the fastest in the game as a white hive. Like, white hives are the fastest people. So, yeah. See these things? This is a triangulate. You're gonna get a lot of these because you're gonna have a lot of vector bees. Try and stretch it out as far as possible so it collects as much pollen as possible, but also try and stand inside these marks. See these marks? And collect this. It's a mark search. What it does is yeah, see? Boom. It's like bombs, but much better, and it's specified towards your marks. So, be sure to stretch out your vector bees, triangulate ability like that, and also be sure to try and stand in marks as much as possible. And always collect goo. Goo is the main point of a white hive. Now, let's talk about blue hives. How should you boost as a blue hive? Okay, so let's walk over here and let's plant down our sprinklers. So let's say I'm boosting in Pine Tree Forest. The best place to boost would be Stump Field, but at the same time, no. Stump Field is too OP, so your bag fills too quickly. So I just say boost in Pine Tree unless you're using a Festive Bean. If you're using a Festive Bean, go to Stump Field. But if you're just doing a regular boost, then without a Festive Bean, go ahead, come to Pine Tree. Pine Tree is the best one. So essentially, as a blue hive, you're gonna have pretty fast speed. You're gonna have a constant 10 stack of haste. So yeah, be sure to be going for all the bubbles. See these bubbles here? This bubble right there, those bubbles right there. Be sure to run over to them and pop as many as you can. Always pop bubbles, but at the same time, always collect your ability tokens. So yeah, it's just for blue hives, it's run around, pop bubbles, and collect tokens. It's just you're constantly running around. Do not stand still as a blue hive. You'll make a lot less. But if you're moving around, then go ahead and collect all these bubbles. But okay, yeah, that's about it for boosting, guys. There's really not much to it. That's the whole thing right there. So don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Check out our link in the description to join our Discord server. And yeah, goodbye.